Chat, he actually did it. Trump actually went after the Federal Reserve. I know this is not my regular 6'7" Kai Snatch shits and stuff live on stream reaction type of content that I usually make and that you brain rotted gooners want to see, but it is quite possibly one of the most important things going on right now. This will affect you. In the United States, we have the Federal Reserve. They control the money. They have a bunch of different tools to do this, but their arguably most important tool is the interest rates. The Federal Reserve has the ability to set interest rates. These are the interest rates that banks are getting. When banks have lower interest rates, they can give you a lower interest rates. Lower interest rates means cheaper loans and more people getting access to more loans. More money in general in the economy going towards buying cars, buying houses, buying whatever you need. It is a really efficient way to stimulate an economy when it is stagnating. If you leave interest rates low for too long and people get access to too much cheap money, you get inflation. Since there's so much money going around, people start raising their prices. Things get more expensive. So the Federal Reserve constantly is raising and lowering interest rates so that they're stimulating the economy, but not so much to where they're making everything crazy expensive. Now, who is in charge of the Federal Reserve? It is a board of people with one person being the chairman. These people are not elected. You don't go out and you vote for them. Generally, whoever is in power at the time gets to elect someone to the board of the Federal Reserve. Once they are chosen and confirmed by our government, they have a set term limit and they can't be removed. The main reason why the Federal Reserve is set up this way is so that there is a separation between the Federal Reserve and our government. It needs to be separated from our government. Otherwise, politicians would always just want low interest rates, because low interest rates is really, really good in the short term. It pumps the economy, it makes you look really good, and it makes people want to vote for you. So if politicians could influence the Federal Reserve, they'd always just want low interest rates. And that's really bad. So that's why there's that separation between the Federal Reserve. Once they're there, you can't do anything. They're not political. They're not a political entity. So Jerome Powell, you've probably heard his name. He is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Over the last couple months, the Fed has been on a rate cutting cycle, which is what Donald Trump wants. They have not been cutting enough to Trump's liking. Trump wants, if Trump could have it his way, he'd have no interest rate. Free money. Because it'd make him look really good for the midterms coming up. And he always is saying this shit. He's saying this shit. And Jerome Powell's like, we're not political. We're going to do the data. We're going to look at the data. And if it needs to happen, we're going to do it. If not, we're not going to do it. Well, Trump has to have his way. He has to have his way. And now he has started to go after Jerome Powell criminally over some bullshit. He's like renovating some property in the Federal Reserve, and apparently they've gone over budget a little bit. And because of that, Trump has launched a criminal investigation into Jerome Powell. Through this investigation, they have the ability to look through everything that Jerome has done, his emails, whatever. And if they find anything they could use to justify as a crime, then they could actually fire him. They could fire a Federal Reserve member if they do a crime, but they can't fire him just because they don't like him. Jerome has like another 5 months at the Federal Reserve anyways. He's been around for a long time. He was appointed by Trump, by the way. He wants to get rid of him now. He can't wait another 6 months because he wants interest rates to be zero so that the economy looks super great during the midterm. Let me explain why this is bad. He gets Jerome out of the Federal Reserve through some bullshit. Inflation is gonna go fucking ridiculous. Shit has become so unreasonably expensive because this motherfucker is gonna cut interest rates to nothing. He's gonna have some bitch-made motherfucker there, by the way. He's gonna pick some little goon, and I don't mean goon in like the current sense, like the old-timey sense, okay? Some henchmen. He's gonna put one of his henchmen there, and that motherfucker's gonna interest rates zero. It's gonna be really nice for a couple months, and then you're gonna get $100 cheeseburger, and you're like, fuck.